Two reptilian monsters, two tragic men cursed by science and mutation. From Gotham sewers to Spider-Man's city streets, Killer Croc and the Lizard are two of the deadliest predators in comics. But if these two beasts went head to head, which one crawls out on top? Let's find out. Waylon Jones, better known as Killer Croc, started out as an alligator wrestler and sideshow attraction before becoming one of Gotham City's most feared mobsters and sewer-dwelling monsters. Born with a rare mutation that gave him reptilian skin, Croc endured a lifetime of abuse and ridicule that twisted him into madness. His condition developed into a form of regressive atavism, meaning he inherited traits from ancient reptilian ancestors. Over time, his skin hardened until it became nearly invulnerable. His body grew superhumanly strong and fast, and he gained a reptile-like healing factor. But the darker side effect was that his primal animal brain steadily took over, pushing Waylon further away from his humanity. Croc's strength is staggering. He's knocked out Batman with a single punch on more than one occasion, hurled cars aside, smashed through reinforced walls, shredded metal doors, and even ripped a bank vault wide open with his bare hands. His body constantly mutates, making him stronger with each passing phase, to the point where he can overpower enemies who once defeated him, or break free of prisons that previously held him. And Croc consistently punches above his weight class. He's fought Bane even while he was pumped full of venom, battled Solomon Grundy several times, and even won on occasion, injured Osiris, a boy carrying the power of Black Adam, and he's gone head to head with Aquaman. He's even managed to knock around Superman and Zod, though it's doubtful he was really hurting them. Durability is another of Croc's defining traits. These days, he's basically bulletproof. Deadshot once shot him point blank in the head with a custom round. Barely broke the skin. He's walked away from skyscraper level falls, survived buildings collapsing on top of him, and casually withstood massive explosions. Like his strength, his durability lets him trade blows with opponents well outside his league, including surviving hits from Aquaman, Supergirl, and even Superman. With his healing factor backing him up, Croc can regenerate from almost anything, even regrowing lost limbs when necessary. Although Croc is usually seen as nothing more than a brute, that's not the full picture. More recently, it's been suggested that his dumb, savage act is just that, an act. In reality, Croc is smarter and more calculating than most give him credit for. He's stealthy enough to sneak up on Batman and the Bat family, clever enough to use his surroundings to his advantage. When he does let his animal side take over, Croc becomes a relentless, terrifying predator, one that can maul nearly anyone who stands in his way. Kurt Connor's story starts on the battlefield, where he served as a combat medic patching up soldiers under fire. During one mission, a phosphorus blast caught his right arm. Connors refused to stop treating the wounded, but the damage was awful and the doctors had no choice but to amputate. Unable to continue his surgical career, Connors turned his brilliance towards science, becoming a world-class herpetologist. Driven by the dream of regrowing his lost limb, he created a revolutionary serum that restored his arm, but also unleashed his monstrous alter ego, the Lizard. The Lizard is brutally strong, so much so that Spider-Man himself has admitted that this is one of the few villains who might outmuscle him. Pete can't afford to pull his punches when they fight, because even his full strength sometimes isn't enough to break free from the Lizard's grip. Connors has tossed Spider-Man around like a rag doll, smashed through reinforced steel, hurled cars with ease, and struck hard enough to send people flying through walls. His raw strength easily pushes past the 10 to 15 ton range, combined with razor sharp claws that can slice through flesh and even superhuman durability. The lizard is one opponent you can't afford to underestimate. But strength isn't his only edge. The lizard is incredibly durable, shrugging off bullets like they're nothing and taking Spider-Man's strongest blows. Pete has even admitted that punching him feels like hitting solid steel. He's endured explosions, blasts from the Human Torch, just keeps coming back for more. Add to that a potent healing factor, and Connors can recover from most injuries in minutes, making him almost impossible to keep down. For his size, the lizard is also shockingly fast. He's quick enough to dodge Spider-Man's attacks, blitz him in close combat, and sneak up on him despite Pete's spider sense. He's even somehow fast enough to dodge bullets. Combined with his animal instincts and predatory agility, he's always a step more dangerous than he looks. And then there's the ability that truly sets him apart, his control over reptiles. The lizard can telepathically command snakes, lizards, and other reptiles, sending entire swarms after Spider-Man or turning a swamp into his personal army. But it goes further. Through pheromones and mental influence, he can awaken the lizard brain in humans, triggering their primal instincts and reducing them to savage, animalistic versions of themselves. So, who wins? Well, let's break it down. While Batman and Spider-Man's rogues galleries share a lot of similarities, Killer Croc and the Lizard are about as close as it gets. Two massive reptilian bruisers with superhuman strength, speed, durability, and razor-sharp claws and teeth. It's basically like looking into a scaly mirror. But don't underestimate Killer Croc. His best feats prove he's more than just Gotham muscle. He's knocked Batman out with a single punch on multiple occasions, ripped open a bank vault with nothing but raw strength, and tossed around vehicles like toys. Croc's mutation keeps pushing him further and further, to the point where he's fought Bane, overpowered Solomon Grundy, and even held his own against Aquaman underwater. In some crazy moments, he's even tagged Kryptonians like Superman and Zod. Sure, he wasn't putting them down, but the fact that his strikes even registered is insane. And Croc isn't just strong, he's ridiculously tough. Point-blank headshots from Deadshot barely break his skin. Skyscraper falls don't keep him down, and he's tanked punches from heavy hitters like Supergirl and Aquaman. Add in his reptilian healing factor, which lets him regenerate from brutal injuries and even regrow limbs, and Croc becomes a near unstoppable tank. His durability and ever-mutating biology means he just keeps getting harder to put down. But in a slugfest, that might give him the edge. But then you got the Lizard, and Connors brings just as much, if not more, to the table. Time and again, he's shown he's flat out stronger than Spider-Man, one of Marvel's top-tier street-level heroes. Pete himself admits that he can't break Lizard's grip, and that Connors might actually be stronger than him. That alone puts Lizard in the 10 to 15 ton range, with the strength to casually hurl cars, tear through reinforced steel, and smash through buildings. His claws make him even more dangerous, sharp enough to cut into superhumans and leave devastating wounds. And here's the difference. Batman and the Bat family consistently manage to put Croc down. Meanwhile, Spider-Man struggles not to break his own hand punching Lizard. That contrast says a lot about the gap between them. Add in Lizard's tail, which can restrain even Spider-Man, and Croc simply doesn't have an answer for that level of versatility. But the ace up Connor's sleeve is his reptilian telepathy. He summoned entire swamps worth of reptiles to fight for him, but more importantly, he can influence the lizard brain in people, reducing them to their most primal instincts. While Croc isn't technically a reptile, his mutation pushes him closer to that mindset than a normal human. That means Lizard could potentially exploit Croc's own biology and turn his greatest weapon, his feral rage, against him. At the end of the day, while Killer Croc is tough and only keeps getting tougher, everything he can do, the Lizard does better. He's stronger, faster, tougher, has regeneration on par with Croc, plus a tail and reptile control that Croc simply cannot counter. Unless you're using one of those rare times Croc mutated into a Justice League level threat, this fight isn't all that close. The Lizard wins.